So I want to use this neon mica in our salt soaps, and you can see that's a really nice, bright, beautiful colour. I'm going to put a relatively good amount of this into here, because we're going to go bright. We might as well go bright. Now the thing with salt bars is they do set up very quickly, so we need to have everything ready to go, and the best way to get your neons ready is to have them all prepped in advance. So I've got a little bit of our base oils there, and all I'm going to do is use a frappe mixer. Now a frappe mixer is a little mixer that they use to make Greek frappe drinks with, and it basically mixes up the milk and you can get this just beautiful kind of froth from it. But the other thing it's very good at is doing micas. So I've got these little acrylic pouring jugs which are soft. You can see how soft they are. Pop this into here and just... Now if you can do this well in advance, because it will tend to impart some air, and all these bits on the side we're just going to scrape them into our mix. Now the oil I'm using is a little bit warm actually, which is going to help disperse that a little bit more. But this is a quicker way I found to make neons dispersible rather than using a flat plate, which you can do. You can still use a flat glass plate, and if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. But what we do with this one, if you just make sure we get all of that nicely mixed in. And I'm going to do them in these individual moulds. Now the reason I'm doing them in individual moulds and I'm not going to do them as a loaf is because salt bars can notoriously set up quite quickly. So I want to have a little bit more control, and by using these half moon rounds it's going to work very nicely. But the first thing I want to do is, because they are salt bars, I'm going to do two different colours in there, but I'm also going to add a little pile of salt in the bottom. Now a lot of this is going to come back out again, but I do like to say what the bar is going to be by using ingredients that you can see what is in it. So I'm going to add this salt. Now this is just a sea salt, rock salt, that you can get from the supermarket, or you can get it from specialist supply shops. I'm doing nothing with that except just popping it in. Now some of that's going to fall out and it's going to create this kind of divot in the top of the soap, so it's going to look a little bit like a geode, and the reason for that is because I want it to look like it is a bar with salt in it. Now some of the salt will dissolve, some of it won't dissolve, and the reason we use salt is because we want to use it for its humectant properties. Salt will draw moisture to it, and you can see in here how it's sticking to the side. That's basically moisture starting to affect the salt. Okay, so everything has cooled down now, so we're going to incorporate our fragrance oil. Now this is going to set up quite quickly, so even if it sets up quite quickly with that in it, we'll be absolutely fine. But we are working at a relatively cool temperature, so we're down to about 20 degrees there, 29 degrees there, 28 degrees there. We're good to go. Got a second jug there just to be on the safe side. I do need my stick blender. And then we've got our colorant in here. And we've also got our salt. So the thing with a salt bar is you can use up to 1-to-1 the amount of oil to salt, but I find that a little bit heavy, so I've got about half the amount of salt here to the weight of oils, and I feel that gives me a nice kind of salt bar without being too kind of gritty. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to pour this in down our stick blender there. Oh, sorry, down our so we can see that's starting to go there. So what we're going to do is get our stick blender in and just bring this to hopefully an emulsion. Now the one thing with salt bars is the only oil which really gives you bubble within a salt bar is going to be coconut oil. So this is majority coconut with a little bit of other bits and pieces in there. Palm, a little bit of palm oil, a little bit of lard, a little bit of cocoa butter, a little bit of grapeseed, and the majority in there is coconut oil. So it's going to give us a nice white bar. Make sure everything is incorporated. We've got plenty of time to work with this, and you do really want something that's going to give you enough time to work, because as soon as the salt goes in, we then have to work very quickly. So the least you have to fight with the batter kind of setting up on you, the better. And all I'm going to do with that is pour off about half. It's going to make everything come together a little bit quicker. And we're really just going to eyeball it a little bit more. Roughly. Don't have to be super quick on this. That'll do us. So we've got a nice white, clear colour. I'm going to bring in another mixer there. Going to add our orange colour, which is going to give bright and vibrant. I do like a nice bright, vibrant colour in a soap. So this one is really going to kind of be nice and bold and boost those colours. And then all we're going to do is add in our salt to each one of these and stir it through. So we're going to add about half the salt to each one. Give it a nice stir through, and it will start to set up, but you'll still get a bit of working time with it, so don't worry too much. Get it stirred in there, and this one as well. So we've got our salts going through. And again, you can see, because we're working with a nice slow moving batter, we can get our salt in there and get them stirred through. A little bit in the bottom of that one, but get them stirred in. And I like using just this kind of low amount because it gives us a little bit more control over what's going on. Okay, and we're just going to throw this in. As quick as that. So we've got one there that's got a little bit less in it, so let's just pop some of that in there. And you can see that they are really kind of just coming together quite nicely. That one there, that one there. And then all I'm going to do is come in with one of these and just give us a little bit of a swirl around. And they won't take very long to set. We can pop them out in a little while and see what our salt bars look like in about 4 to 6 hours. So here we are back, and I think I've got a little bit of steric spotting going on, but that's absolutely fine. That could just be the salt peeking through. So let's take a look at our soaps here. So if we pull these out, we want to get a little bit of our soap, our salt out, which we can do with a little brushette. And there we have our salt scrub. So that is just the salt peeking through, but that will be absolutely fine. And we'll give these a lather test in a minute. Now they will still need to cure, but we'll give them a show and just see how well they do. And I quite like these shapes for salt bars. Gives it a differentiation and gives it quite a nice hand feel when you're using them. So that's one there. So we've got a little one of our things here. Now this hasn't cured, but we're going to give it a little go. So this is an uncured salt bar. Now look at just the beautiful kind of rich, quite close lather you get from that, but it will bubble. And once they've cured, you'll get an even better bubble off of them. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me grow and allows me to make more videos and tutorials for all of you. When you subscribe, don't forget to click the bell icon if you'd like to get notified when a new video is uploaded. And thanks a lot, Soapsters. I'll see you again next time.